thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. It's awesome. When Amy suggested we do this, I was like, well, yeah, we could have a party, but we don't have any friends. But anyway, no, we do. Obviously, I have lots of great friends, so we're happy that you guys came. So, like I said, it's going to be informal. I just thought I'd tell a little story, and then and then Corey wants to say something, and then and then maybe pass the mic around with the kids a little bit if they feel like speaking, and then we'll do the vow thing, and then we'll eat. The important part. So, I don't know, I'll try and, do this brief. I don't know if you guys know how Amy and I met. We met on Match.com.
I thought it was a strip bar.
So, no, not a strip bar, no. I was living in Klamath Falls at the time, and I saw, this was like the late 90s, and online dating was fairly new. And no, I'm talking about when I saw this story on 2020 or something about Match.com. So I got on there and I started checking it out, and Amy emailed me, and I answered back. And then I didn't hear from her. She didn't answer back. So I was like, oh, well, okay. I guess she doesn't like me. And it was probably like at least a month before she responded to my email. And I had basically forgotten about it, And I found out later that she had to try out some other guy first. Yeah. There was okay, well you can tell that part. No, she had already made a contact with this guy, and she was like, well, I have to go meet him, and well, obviously that didn't work out, so she wrote me back. And that, then I answered, and we started talking all the time, and pretty soon we were on the phone all the time. We talked like probably everybody in this room is done, talked for 3 or 4 hours on the phone, right? And anyway, long story short, she invited us to go to meet them at Lake of the Woods. She was going to go camping with her boys up at Lake of the Woods, and she said, why don't you guys come up there? And at this point, we had not met in person. I had never seen a picture of her.
You can post a picture.
I did not post a picture.
There was no pictures.
But his picture.
I had a picture.
I couldn't.
But anyway, so she told me where they were going to be at Lake of the Woods, and I went to that campsite, and I was driving up the road, and I saw this person at the water thing, getting water, and I just knew that was her. Immediately I knew that was her. And I got the weirdest feeling that I had never met this person in real life, and we talked a lot, but when I saw her, I just got this feeling that, and I told her this later, that whatever was going to happen, I knew that she was going to be in my life for a very long time. I could just tell that I don't know if we were just going to be friends or if we were going to be more than friends, but I just knew it was going to be a long, long time. I even thought, it could be 20 years, like it is. And that just hit me right at that moment, and it was very strange. But anyway, so obviously we hit it off, and we ended up living together, and we were living in Klamath Falls because I was living in Klamath at the time. And when I met her, and for a while after I met her, I was definitely never getting married again. I was very anti-marriage. I'd been through one and I wasn't going to do it again. Well, over time, that kind of softened up over time. But one day, very hot summer, it was like a Saturday, and I don't know, I was probably drinking a beer. And
just one?
A beer. And I noticed that Amy was doing things. Amy's never not doing things. I mean, she's always doing something. And I went out front and I looked and I couldn't believe it. She was like up on a step ladder and she was cleaning the windows of my house. And they needed it really bad. And she was cleaning them and I was standing there watching her and it just hit me. I was like, I have to marry this woman. She's cleaning my windows. And so, that's how it hit me. And then at some point, a few minutes later, we were in the house, and she says that I just sat down next to her and I said, "So, I think we should get married, right?" Yeah, and that was the proposal. So, hey, you want to get married? And that's what we did. So we set it up for a year later, and that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that the reason I didn't contact him immediately, that thing about, it's totally true. There was another match, and I think I took you with me. We went camping. The guy was a really nice guy, but no. But we, okay, sorry. But the funny thing is that I got an email back from him, and there's another Brian Moore in our life. Brian Moore, back there. Hello, Brian Moore.
Hey, Brian.
At the time in the military, and I swear to God, when I saw it, and not that I wasn't going to answer, but I thought, God, why is he emailing me? And I kind of, I didn't actually see that. But then I was like, why? And then I went to read it, and I'm like, he's not at a Pokemon movie with his kids. He has no children. And then I realized it was him. And honestly, when I realized it was him and it wasn't Brian Moore, the fact that he had just got home from a Pokemon movie with his children was huge. Huge. I'm like, I have to meet this guy. He took his children to a Pokemon. So that's that story. But yeah, July 29th, the year 2000, I took my boys camping, and these guys met me, and I met these guys, and these three children, I will tell you something I'll never forget. Damien and Cheyenne, I don't even know if you remember this, but Damien was so in love with you guys. And Cheyenne especially, Damien was like, Mom, she's so cool, she's such a cutie. and I gave up your tent to him and his kids so that they could spend the night. And they stayed the night, and the next day, my mom and Ken, who can't be here tonight, they were coming up anyways for the day, so they got to meet him. And he said that he saw me get in the water when I was sitting across from him after we had barbecued and I was serving dinner to everybody. I sat across from him and I just kind of said, that's him. I remember this thought in my head, and people that were with me at that time, or people that knew me at that time, I think I shared that with you. I mean, even my clients, Rick and Denise, I think I said, oh my God, I think I met the guy. Like he's the one. And I knew he was going to be my person. I just knew it, no matter what. So, anyways, I just wanted to put 2 cents in. Anyway.
That was good.
Okay, so I believe Corey has.
Unless you guys want to freestyle.
Anybody freestyle? We don't even care.
Okay.
Freestyle.
You have to sit down.
Excuse me.
I'll look at you guys. All right, can everyone hear me? Hello. As well.
I was fast. That's my voice. You're good.
Hey, yeah, so thank you everybody for being here. To my mom and Brian, you two are a testament of growth and how it comes at different stages of life, some sooner than others. But watching you two grow into who you are today has been a blessing to witness, but more than anything, getting to watch and understand that change is good, and it can be uncomfortable sometimes. But once we are reminded that we're on the same team and not keeping score against each other, things become a little bit easier. You two did just that, never giving up on each other, and stood strong through the storms. It can be tough to be in a blended family. For anyone who has been a part of one, you would definitely agree. Coming into the Moore family was scary, but boy, did it turn out pretty awesome. Mom, I love you so much. I'm so proud of who you are today. I look up to you in many ways. Thank you for the years of lessons, what to do and what not to do, and how no matter what, you must work hard to achieve your dreams and mostly do what you love. Brian, no matter what we went through throughout the years, it's all been forgotten because of the way you treat my sweet Ronan. She loves her Papa B, and that means more to me than you'll ever know. So thank you for stepping up and being the grandpa my daughter needed. Cheers to you two and 20 years of marriage, and cheers to the forever, the future. So. I don't like talking in front of people, so thank you for that.
Good job.
Come on, anybody else?
You can't beat that one.
I just want to say that
Oh gosh, you start bringing up Ronan.
He was singing
I
happy
found
birthday.
a card that my mom gave me. My mom who can't be here, and most of you know the situation that my mom is in. You know, she would be here if she could. But this card, we were going through some stuff, trying to purge because we tend to hoard a lot of stuff in our family. I found this card that my mom wrote me, and I do what I do, and I think a lot of it's because of my mom. And to have my mom write these words to me was really special to me. It hit me really hard reading these, and this was only a couple months ago that I found this, but it was a Mother's Day card, and she said that she admired me because I met each and every one of my children where they're at. That I really tried hard to not be so generic with the whole I saw in each and every one of them how they needed to be treated. It took time, believe me, it really took time. I mean, I really struggled being a stepmom. Whew, really hard. And I know for my children, it's like I just don't even like to call them stepchildren. It's like they're my kids. I mean, I've been with these children.
You're my mom.
I've been with these kids since they were very young, and oh my gosh, even Rocio's been in my life for how many? 17 years. Zan's forever. That's his person, and they've been together for 17 years. All of our children have found their person, and in the broken life that we had prior to meeting each other, we would have never guessed that we would have produced these 6 children in the relationships and the family that they have. I mean, I just can't even believe that we are grandparents to 11, and we're going to be great-grandparents. Our Gianna is going to have a baby in about 3 weeks. I kind of hope it's 4 weeks, though. He needs to bake a little more. But, sorry, but I just can't believe it from what we came from. I mean, it's just amazing to me what the storms we've weathered, and I don't know. Anyways, that card that my mom gave me just really touched me because it's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I strive for. Is each one of my kids is different in their own way. They just are, and biological or not, it doesn't matter. And I love them all the same, and I love them all different. So I really appreciate that. That was beautiful words, and I know that y'all know that he's the one that can get up here and do that, even though he says he's not. He's pretty good at that. I know, right? I know, right?
Try, but damn.
So anyway, so we'll go on with our vows that we're gonna say. Do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to do mine?
This is mine. This is so embarrassing. This is like the one thing I didn't even do.
But wait a minute though, if anybody here has me on Facebook, they know he writes really good stuff on Facebook about me.
Yeah.
So we'll give him that.
Well, to me, I mean, it's not so much about vows or promises, for me, because, we're human beings, we make promises, and sometimes we just don't, follow through, and things don't work out. I mean, I've been married twice. I was your third one. So obviously, sometimes promises don't, but for me...
Look what we got from it all.
Yeah. Well, and what Corey said, I mean, obviously, yeah, being a blended family, probably a lot of you in here as well, it's really hard. It can be really hard. I mean, there's times when it was just absolutely wonderful, but times when it was hell, but we were determined and stuck it together. And sometimes I can't believe we did, but we did it. We made it. And we had a lot of good friends at the time who had been through it, and they said to us, hey, one day your kids, they're going to be older, and they're going to thank you. And they're going to say, you guys did a good job. And we're like, really? Because they hate us right now. And, but these people were like, no, one day they're going to say thank you. And they were right. They were right. And these guys, they treat each other like real siblings. There's no stepbrother this or stepsister that. And it's just one big happy family, and we couldn't be happier. So, anyway, for me, as I was saying, it's not so much about vows. I am going to read some vows, but I think about this, and I think about how grateful I am. I'm just really, I'm just so thankful. I mean, when I first met Amy, pretty early on, I said to her, okay, so I am not an easy person to live with. Like, no, really, I'm not. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm seriously. Well, I got to show her a few times how hard it could be, but she stuck with it. So I'm very grateful, every time I go to sleep at night, every time I wake up in the morning, she's there. And it's, not everybody has that, and so for me, that's the most important thing. I mean, that's the thing, is that I'm grateful, I'm thankful. So I will read this. I love you. You're my best friend. Today I give myself again to you in marriage. I promise to encourage you and inspire you, to laugh with you, and to comfort you in times of sorrow and struggle. I promise to love you in good times and in bad times, when life seems easy and when it seems hard, when our love is simple and when it is an effort. Like now, without my reading glasses. I promise to cherish you and always hold you in the highest regard. These things I give to you today and all days of our lives, the rest of our lives, which I hope is going to be a long time.
So, and I'm really good with dates, so I'm going to say this, October, the year 2000, we had been dating for a short period of time.
What were you wearing?
Let's see. I wrote him a letter or a note about how I felt, and part of what this is in the beginning is exactly what I said to him. And so when I read it just now, I mean, I seriously thought this within months of meeting him. It is clear to me now, and was then, that everything in my life has led me to you. Thinking back to all of my choices and considering even the not so good ones, that I am truly blessed, because if I had done even one thing differently, I might have never met you, met your children, who I now consider my children, never have become your wife, and never had the opportunity to have Evan, which is the ours child. That's what we always call him, the ours child. And you've brought so much joy to all of your siblings and to us. And I just don't think we can all imagine without you. And I would not have the honor of standing here almost 24 years later of meeting you and celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary. Today I want to renew my vows to you and once again give you my heart forever and always. I vow to help you love this life, always hold you in tenderness, and have the patience that love demands. I recognize that love is more about commitment than a feeling, and I choose to love you every day. I always will love you even when I may not like you. I will try and speak when words are needed and share silence. Ooh, that's a hard one. When they are not. To agree to disagree on salt and pepper shakers.
Oh, great debate.
The great debate of the Moore family. And live within the warmth of your heart and always call it home. I will love you fiercely in all of your forms now and forever, never forgetting that this is a once-in-a-lifetime love. I will always, no matter what the challenges might come, and there have been many, that they will carry us apart at times, but we will always find our way back to each other. Thank you for loving me, for putting up with me, and sharing this life with me. So,
20 more.
20 more, let's party.
Can you stand right here?
Yeah. Oh, of everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, right here.